Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Very Biased Opinions for another round of Premier League predictions. Who thought we'd given up? Shame on you. We're back with a vengeance for at least one more round. It's week 22, so it's a midweek madness. Quick recap from the last time we did do predictions. I was the victor in one of these mini ones. I really got lucky on these mini ones. What have I got? 1, 2, 3, 6 points to
5.
Yeah, quite close in the end, wasn't it? But I got the Man United result right, and that was clinical. But that's dwelling on the past. Let's move into the present and future. Thomas, start me with the first premonition.
The initial premonition for tonight's viewing is Tottenham Hotspur versus Chelsea Football Club.
Oh, ho, ho! Big game, big derby, lot of I can't say the word. What's the word?
Ambiance?
Animosity.
Animosity.
Lots of animosity between the two sets of fans over the years. And you've got a Spurs side who we haven't seen them. Obviously, we don't know how the results have gone. We're recording this way in advance of when these games are being played. Who could find themselves right back in the title picture against the Chelsea side who are rebuilding under a new gaffer.
Yeah, right. Let's do this quickly. Frank's been sacked. We all know that. I think most of the pundits have made it clear they don't agree with it. Chelsea were woeful in their first match under Tuchel. They could not put anything together. They played Jorginho instead of Mason Mount.
I just want to say we want to do this quickly, and so we're going to try and fly through it. But the weird thing is, everybody seemed to want it to happen until it happened.
Yeah.
They seem to he's got to go. The only reason he's still there is because he's Frank Lampard. And as soon as he's sacked, fucking Chelsea, terrible. Shocking the way they treat managers.
Yeah. I mean, thank you, the British media. But I think Tuchel's got a job on his hands because they are bereft of confidence up front. Kai Havertz, now that there's no... I wanted to give Frank patience. I have no interest in giving Thomas Tuchel patience because he's not paid to have patience. He's paid for results. And Kai Havertz looked awful under him in his first game. It's going to be interesting to see what happens because you feel like there's a little bit of unrest between the old players and the new ones, and it feels like he's giving a nod to the old players by putting players like Azpilicueta on the pitch. But I think it's going to be a really tough game for them, and I still believe in Jose Mourinho in this Spurs side, and I think they're going to put on a pretty good showing and come in the top 4 at least. Don't say it. Don't talk about Arsenal. And I'm going to go for a Spurs win in this 2-1.
I think it's going to be 3-1 to Tottenham, actually. I agree with you what you said about Chelsea, and Spurs are way more solid, way more controlled with pretty much everything that they do. And, yeah, Tuchel, what is he? He's going to be there, two year and a half? He'll probably win a trophy. Players will get sick of him, and then he'll go. So, typical Chelsea management appointment. But anyway, that is what we think. A couple of Tottenham wins. Next match, Burnley versus Manchester City.
Man City are now on absolute fire. They can't stop scoring goals despite not having a striker. And I say that because they scored 5 goals the last time we saw them out, not because of anything else. They look like the class of the league now. They're hit form at the perfect time. But Burnley, big result that we just saw, Ian.
Yeah, I know. I mean, when you said they look free scoring, I was wondering which side you're talking about, because Burnley have had 2 games where they scored 3 goals in a row from the last time we saw it. Amazing turnaround game against Aston Villa. I don't know where these goals are coming from. But in the reverse of this fixture, Burnley just kind of laid down and let Man City do whatever they want to them.
You forget that Burnley just beat Liverpool, Ian.
I did, but, Liverpool are yesterday's news, son.
Right, prediction.
They're like the chip wrapper I've left on the floor. Man City to win. I think Man City will win by 3-0.
Well, I have to be different than you, so I will go 2. Conquerors of Manchester United, Sheffield United, do battle against West Bromwich Albion.
Whatever way you look at it, this is the typical relegation 6-pointer. Obviously, Sheffield United still have an absolute mountain to climb, despite that wonderful win against Man United, and we'll get to the Man United side of it. But Sheffield United, just for all the crap they've had to put up with, what a great result! What a great result for Wilder! What a great result for the fans! What a great result for the players! They need to build on it as quickly as they can. West Brom do not look like they've improved under Allardyce at all. Sheffield United look a much more solid side. You would think it's going to be a draw, but I am just going to back Wilder's side to win 1-0.
Yeah, I'm giving the same prediction. Really quickly, you're a fool because Pep Guardiola told us that Sam Allardyce is a genius.
Yeah, not
he
a
then went
manager.
out and beat him 5-0.
Not at being a football manager.
Just as a human being, he's a genius.
Solving Rubik's Cube or like quantum physics, he's a freaking genius.
And he can read situations. Like, he always knows when he's being played and someone's recording an uncomfortable conversation with him.
Ancient Sanskrit. Sam Allardyce is your man. I'm pretty sure when they dug up Tutankhamun, Sam Allardyce was there.
Why do I just picture Sam Allardyce with the head of a mummy going like...
You want someone to go across the Arctic? Allardyce.
It's your man. It's your man. Right, moving swiftly on. Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Arsenal.
Wolves are in terrible form. Rather annoyingly to Thomas, Arsenal were in much better form than they were. And they had a really good result against Southampton despite surrendering to them in the FA Cup. And they've obviously coming off the back of smashing Man United in this one. Wolves continue to struggle. I'm going for a Gooners win. I'm going for a 2-1 Gooners win.
I'm not seeing a lot out of Wolves that fills me with hope. This isn't a criticism of Espirito, the spirit, or anything else. They're just not on form. They're not looking good. They're not looking happy. Podence threw a fit when he came off the pitch, and part of you is happy when you see a player angry who's been substituted and wanting to be out there. But the other part of you is just going, it's not falling for him right now. Like, you're watching, it's just not going their way.
It's not a disaster. It's a side that's overachieved for 2 years and it's leveling out a little bit.
Yeah, and we got to remember that all those great players that are in that team, like João Moutinho is like 36 or 37, and Rui Patricio, I'm pretty sure, is 38 or 39. Like, it is an old squad as well, and a bit like Leeds, them being in the Premier League every now and then, just be happy with that.
Exactamundo, my friend. And two sides that will be hoping to stay in the Premier League: Newcastle United versus Crystal Palace.
Let me do this quickly. Newcastle United are garbage. Crystal Palace are slightly less garbage with a couple quality players. Crystal Palace to win, 2-1.
We did it so quick, we forgot to say they weren't even there in time. But Thomas, watch out! The Eagles are coming. Whew, they've just flown overhead. It's fine. They've come to take Bruce away to put him out of his misery. I also think Palace will win this game, and it's just Newcastle just look terrible, don't they? Bereft of ideas. I think Palace will win. I think it'll be a 2-0 Palace win.
Fulham versus Manchester City.
The draw specialists have taken the crown off Brighton and it's been placed on Fulham's head. That seems all they can do in the Premier League is draw games. Against the Leicester City side that had a decent result against Everton last time out and continue to punch above their weight, you would have to back Leicester in this one, although I wouldn't be shocked if Fulham did pull out another draw because they are a very hard side to beat. I think it'll be a narrow Leicester win. I'm going for 2-1.
Going 3-1, Leicester on incredible form. And let me just state that Fulham are tied for the second most draws. They're currently sat there with Liverpool, but yet again, Ian, BHAFC lead the draw table with 9.
Just with Leicester, just quickly, it's a cliche thing to say if they haven't got Vardy, who's going to pick up the goals? And I think the likes of Maddison and Barnes and Tielemans have done a really good job of that.
Oh yeah,
in recent weeks, really filling in.
I think Barnes. I'm pretty sure Barnes is English. We know Maddison is English, and if they can score,
yeah, at very least British, I think. So yeah.
Well, what I was going to say is if they can score the rate they are, then it goes from, well, there's no way James Maddison gets in the squad. Look at all the talent. Look at Phil Foden. Look at what's his face, Jack Grealish. Look at all these attacking mids we have to. If he can get bagged 20 goals in the Premier League.
I mean, the talent pool is incredible with those creative players. It's obviously there are going to be injuries leading up to the Championship, so somebody's going to get an unexpected turn, and it might be James Maddison. Yeah, that's about all on this one. Moving on, Leeds United versus Everton.
This has all the makings of an absolute classic. Leeds United will never stop attacking, despite being terrible in the attacking third sometimes and being unable to string together 2 passes.
I want to see Leeds versus Rochdale.
9-8 was the score. Rochdale come out on top because Bielsa subbed all of his defenders off the strikers at the end. Everton are a first-half team. They look absolutely brilliant in the first half of every game, and then the second half starts, and you're just like, I don't know who these guys are. But generally, Ancelotti, and I genuinely think this is his plan, is we take the lead, and then we do the Italian thing. we set up and we defend our lead, and the substitutions he makes and the way they're playing says that. They're having a fantastic season. This isn't me insulting Everton. It's me trying to figure out the way they play and how they're doing as well as they are. I think this game has goals all over it. I'm going for a 4-3 Everton win.
Well, they got some of their key players back, Everton, haven't they? Got their key attacking players, and they look a lot better for it. James looks a lot fresher. Scored a great goal in the Leicester game. And as we know, Leeds just continues to look great. Bamford's gone off the ball a little bit, though, hasn't he? He hasn't scored in a while.
He got...
You can see how excited he is.
He got subbed out the last match really early, and I thought it was actually kind of harsh, but there's something weird happening where he seemed to be open a lot, and Rafinha and Rodrigo just weren't looking for him. They just kept shooting, and it feels like everyone in the Leeds side thinks they can score, and they ping it constantly in positions where he's in the 6-yard box. Just tap it to him.
Yeah, a bit too. The eyes lighting up as soon as they see the whites of the goalpost. I'm surprised you've gone against Leeds. This must be the first time ever, other than when they played Man United.
I'm genuinely convinced at half-time it's 4-1 to Everton, and in the second half, Leeds just go, we're going to try now.
I think I can see this one being a draw. I'm going to put my Desmond on the board. 2-2.
Deuces, baby. Aston Villa versus West Ham United.
Should be another really good game. Two sides that play really good football. Two sides looking really good.
Ian, no, Ian. This is top 4 West Ham. This is Champions League competing West Ham.
I know.
They're going to do it.
And even Moyes has come out and said we're going to win the league. We don't care about top 4. It's win it or we're going to finish 5th. That's what he said.
If we don't win the title, I quit.
Yeah. Right. So, Villa, they have had a couple of weird results lately. Let's say they had a freak loss against Man City, which wasn't freak. It was only freak because of the rewriting of the offside law, which you have to keep your powder dry, Tom, or this will be an hour-long video. And weirdly, they've lost 3-2 to Burnley in probably the most nuts game ever. So they're reeling a little bit. West Ham are absolutely doing great under Moyes. It's Everton Mark II, isn't it?
Everybody outside of the top 4, you're pretty convinced West Ham can beat them.
Yeah.
Beat them or draw 1-1.
Well, you can't say enough good words against Souček. You can't say enough good words against Bowen.
Antonio's back.
Up front.
Fabianski.
Yep, Fabianski. Obonga.
Declan
Rice is really good.
Oh, Christ. Who's their right back? Their right and left backs have been free. Cresswell's on the right, isn't he? Or is he the left back? Anyway, he's been awesome this year. Yeah, good teams. 2-1 West Ham.
I'm gonna. Yeah, second. I'm sorry to do this, Tom, but I'm gonna go 2-1 West Ham as well.
That's fine. I'll allow it.
Champions and world champions Liverpool versus Brighton and Hove and Albion.
They're not world champions anymore.
They're not.
That was last year.
So who's
not
won it,
anymore.
Who's won it?
No more. No one's played, have they?
They're
They can't.
world champions until they are dethroned in a battle against a fight to the death.
Oh my God, please. If Mo Salah were to leave the league, Man United would be significantly better set to win a league.
Did they call it in Game of Thrones when they had to do that battle to the death?
The Red Wedding?
No, keep going. I'll come back to it.
Anyway, Brighton are the draw specialists. God knows they needed to beat Fulham, and they had about 1,000 chances. I think Neil Maupay missed from about a yard out and somehow skied it over the bar. God knows what was happening there.
You could literally take that phrase and copy it into many Brighton matches.
But anyone who says a 0-0 draw should result in 0 points for a team clearly hasn't seen Lewis Dunk's last-minute header to stop Fulham from scoring. That was deserving of a point for them alone. Liverpool are just messed up right now. They can't get a win for love nor money. I have them losing to Spurs. Personally, I think it's going to happen. Though, I don't know. I mean, I don't know which team's going to show up. But anyway, if it's the team that played Man United, they'll lose 5-4. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, that Spurs game is massive. And Liverpool have got a couple of players back for that one. And we haven't seen it. But you are writing these sides off too early. We wrote City off way too early on this channel, didn't we? And they've stormed back to Liverpool. Still plenty of games to go for them to storm back in it. But as right now, They're terrible. They're the worst side in English football.
Ever.
Absolutely shocking.
Ever.
I don't know how they ever won the league. They're a disgrace.
They're the worst team. They're the worst team. I don't get it. I don't like it.
What? Why is the voice? You should be doing Biden now.
Bad. I can't do a Biden voice.
Hear ye, hear ye. Is that
Abraham Lincoln, sit down.
Right, I wouldn't be shocked if this is another draw, but I'm going to back Liverpool. I think they'll find a way to get back to winning ways if they haven't done already. 2-1 Liverpool.
Yeah, I'm copying that. Good. Final match.
Lots of copying. Lots of copying going on here. It's been a long week. And after a long week, you need something to look forward to. And that is why we have this main event.
Recently dethroned from top of the table, Manchester United play host to Ralph Hasenhüttl's band of misfits, Southampton Football Club.
It was a trial by combat. That was the thing I was looking for.
Glad we got there 10 minutes later.
Combat. But anyway, back to this game. Wow, we are filming this a day after the Sheffield United game where Manchester United fell down to Chrissy Wilder's boys, who are, they must be mid-table, aren't they? Sheffield United are a pretty good side, aren't they? Where are they in the league?
Yes, yeah. The top
oh
8
my
now.
God, they were bottom. They are bottom. Shocking. Well, you don't want to hear me talk about it. We better throw it over to a resident expert, Manchester United fan, Thomas Pickering.
I really enjoyed it. BT Sport were like, this is the shock of the season. It's possibly the most shocking match of the year, if not the last 2 years. And I sat there, I was like, you guys are using hyperbole. And I was like, wait, hold on. Sheffield United have won one match against Premier League opposition. Oh, Christ. But the great part, Ian, was that I actually got to listen in to the halftime team talk that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gave.
Okay.
Let me paraphrase.
Yeah,
It goes something along these lines. Bruno, you're magic. Go out and win us the game. Everyone else, play better. Harry Maguire, you're a golden goose and I love you.
well, it did work with Maguire.
That was it.
It worked in one sense, and then when he said and watched the Sheffield United player get the second goal.
Man United are giving up the most comical goals this season. You could actually write a highlight reel and just the Basak Shahir concession and this one, where there's 9 Man United players in the box, and there's just this unmarked bloke who gets 2 full shots off in a row.
Thomas, you have to say, we watched the game against Liverpool and we did a live stream on it, and Man United were great in that game. They were a bit sloppy in, and when they were in the lead, they let Liverpool back into it. But by and large, I thought they were really good.
Ian,
this is surely just got to be a blip, isn't it?
I think it's a blip, but you also forget that we heard Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's halftime team talk in that game as well.
Oh my God, here we go.
But let me paraphrase. Bruno, you're magic. You're fantastic. Go out and win us the game. Everyone else, do better.
Right. Okay. So Southampton is going to be a test because the one thing they're going to give you in most games, which is surprising they did against Arsenal. They didn't against Arsenal. Is they're just going to give you a lot of energy. They're going to make you work for the victory. And in the reverse of this one, it was one of those ones where Man United looked dead and buried at half-time, and they came back and stormed back what they were doing at the start of the season. So it's not going to be an easy game for Man United, and I hope you think they're going to be coming off the back of a victory against Arsenal, and surely you must think that they're going to carry on the good form and beat Southampton.
Yeah, I actually think Southampton are a little bit cursed here. I think Ralph Hasenhüttl is the second coming of Jurgen Klopp. I think he's an excellent football manager. I think he's proved it, and I rescind everything I said 2 years ago after they lost 9-0, and I said sack him and get rid of him. He is King Ralph.
You weren't the only one saying that. I think
his problem is that his team is not as big as Liverpool's, and it does not have as much depth. And I think we're just going to see that when they have to play this many games. And the Premier League does this to teams. It has one team play the top 8 clubs in a row. I don't know why. It's brutal. So they're playing Villa have got to play Southampton before this. Southampton has to play Villa before this. They had to play Arsenal. I just think they're freaking tired right now. They played Arsenal twice. I think that's gonna work against them. And I think Man United will grind out a 2-1 victory.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. That's the main thing. I see a lot of similarities to Wolves in them as well. Not in the way they play, but just in the fact it's 2 managers that work with a small squad because they haven't got the budget to have a big squad. And so when the key players are missing, there is a drop off in the level of performance. And you haven't seen it too often from Southampton, but it was certainly evident in that second half against Arsenal, where they really did look tired. Man United to win as well. I'll go for I think Cavani will play. I think Cavani will score. He wreaked havoc against the Saints in the reverse. I think it'll be.
Well, mate, he just scored a hat trick against Arsenal, so.
Well, yeah, that may be the case, but they still lost 4-3. That will be 3-1 to Manchester United.
So let me thank all of you for watching. We will try and do a live stream of a Man United game or something soon, but please come and join us for the Oxford United live streams. Every Saturday we're doing them.
I forgot to say it earlier on. This is me linking into a segue from 2 minutes ago. You mentioned curses. Check out Oxford Fleetwood.
Check out our website. We've got our predictions from last week on it. Check out all our social media below. We love you all. We'll see you next week.